announced that he has received a message from the President, His Excellency, conveying that he intends to deliver the 2024 State of the Nation address to Parliament. And he also informed the House of a joint sitting to be held in the National Assembly. And he also pointed out that it will take place today, that is 21st of November. And also, something to add on top of that is that this address by the President comes amidst increasing public pressure on the state of affairs in a number of sectors in the country, including the economy, conduct of the police, corruption, among other issues. It also follows the recent impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the swearing in of former Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki as the new Deputy President. The State of the Nation address is delivered in accordance with Article 132(1) of the Constitution, which provides for the President to address a special sitting of Parliament once every year and may address Parliament at any other time. Once every year, the President is expected. So what are we expecting to hear from the President when he begins the State of the Nation address? So this is what is expected. According to the communication that was brought by this Wetangula, who is the speaker, he said that the President is expected to report in an address to the nation on all the measures taken and the progress achieved in the realization of the national values referred to in Article 10, and submit a report for debate to the National Assembly on the progress made in fulfilling international obligations of the Republic. The head of state is further expected to submit a report for debate to the National Assembly on the progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic. He is expected to, among other things, address measures taken to achieve national security and national values. He is also expected to highlight achievements of his administration, such as the rollout and uptake of the SHIF, this new social health insurance fund that replaced the NHIF, the National Health Insurance Fund. So those are some of the things that we are expecting to hear from the President. And as President William Ruto prepares to address Parliament, I am sure that Kenyans out there are pensive, and some of them have voiced their thoughts on his performance so far and the pressing issues they hope he will talk about in his speech. There are varying opinions, and Kenyans are talking about the diverse challenges and what Ruto's government has delivered so far. As Ruto heads to Parliament, people want him to outline the actionable plans to create jobs, lower the cost of living, and improve the quality of healthcare. So the government had passed the law through Parliament in the transition of NHIF to SHA, but still the transition is not yet taken center stage, because from the ground all over the country, amongst all constituencies and counties, there have been reports from the common mwananchi that this new health initiative, the SHA, is not really working. So Kenyans are really asking to hear what Ruto is doing about the problem of the transition and how the SHA is actually going to help the common mwananchi, because they cannot access healthcare as they should. Some Kenyans acknowledge Ruto's effort in reducing the cost of fuel, an initiative that has been seen as a step towards easing the burden of living expenses. There are some who feel that the current government has not been able to deliver on its promises Hence, there is no need even for the president to issue the State of the Nation address. People on the ground are actually skeptical that the president will actually say anything that is the truth, because he has been quoted to have a culture of not speaking what is on the ground. He's actually working on his political image, the PR gimmick, but he is not in touch with the reality of what is happening. So it is it is a pensive moment, because the mamambogas, the people who work in the boda, of whom the bottom economic and transformation agenda, that was the UDA manifesto, was supposed to address, it's still yet to become fruitful. And so currently, as we are waiting for President Ruto to actually bring his statement on board, there is the problem in the health sector. People are complaining on cost of living. There is currently the ongoing strike of the lecturers in the institutions of higher learning, the universities, as a result of the CBA, the agreements about the CBA, and also the children who are coming out of secondary schools and want to go into the university are wondering, with the current model that has been brought upon by the government, how are they going to actually fit into that model and ensure that they get proper education in the higher learning institutions. And also, you remember that earlier this year there were floods. Yesterday we watched a clip from one of the mainstream media that really caught my eye, that there was a fire that consumed the houses of the common wananchi who lived at Majengo, and one of the ladies had lost her kids. She had lost critically everything. And also we saw clips of people living in deplorable conditions, and it is alleged that these people who lived in such deplorable conditions, who are living in such deplorable conditions, are the people that were actually affected by the floods that came early this year. And President Ruto had said, and it's on record, that he would give 10,000 Kenya shillings to these people so that they can be able to come up to speed in matters recuperating and being able to manage themselves and just get them up to speed and on their feet. And that has yet to be seen, that has yet to happen. And right now there is just so much that is happening on the political front. The impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua has left a bitter salt amongst the Mount Kenya people, and basically he has lost confidence amongst the people of Mount Kenya. And there is the ongoing femicide. There is ongoing extrajudicial killings, people being killed left, right, and center. This morning, we just had news from Rigathi Gachagua, who posted on social media and said that he alleged that the state agencies with Subarus were actually tailing him. And he made a clarion call to the government that they should leave him alone and ensure that he is not in any danger. So on the political front, that is what is happening. And President Ruto has a lot on his plate. I don't know what card he is going to play. I do not know exactly what the advisors are advising him right now. But what I can actually say is that he needs to be in touch with the reality. If he really needs to gain confidence from the people, he needs to address the issues and get his hands dirty and ensure that pesa mkononi imefika kwa wananchi. Don, what do you have to say? Hello, Don.
Yeah, so I don't actually have much to say, such that maybe right now Kenyans are maybe used to President Ruto, bearing in mind of the speeches that he has been making since he became president. Like President Ruto has talked literally almost every day, and so it's like people maybe don't expect much. Maybe people expect like it's always the same things that he'll say, same leo. So we are waiting to see, because there are a lot of things maybe President Ruto needs to maybe to make Kenyans. There are many things that Ruto needs to do so that he brings back that trust that Kenyans had for him, and he had, like right now he has to do himself in matters trust is concerned. So I think people are expectant. According to me, also maybe you don't expect much. Maybe there's a special announcement, or maybe there's something special. Maybe speaking because the Constitution wants him to speak. But something new, we're just waiting to see. Maybe he has a surprise this time. You understand? So we actually don't know. We can't really predict, but people predict that itakuwa to the same kujirudia ya kila
same
siku.
Old rhetoric.
Yeah, same
culture
old
of
rhetoric.
lies.
Yeah, some may put it that way. Maybe that's President Ruto's way of giving hope to the people that things will be well, and he still means well for the people, despite of the situations that people are undergoing. And as I heard you say last night, there was news of some residents somewhere in Kiambu. They are decrying that the government wants to demolish their houses and replace them with the affordable houses. Mm-hmm. And the residents actually are defiant and don't want that issue. They want the government to stop that issue because previously, after the floods, the government promised to,
I remember,
after relocating the people of Mathare and people of Mathare and he promised them that he'll compensate them, give them around 10K each.
Which still remains to be seen.
Yeah, which remains a puzzle till to date. So,
yep.
You can tell us hapo kwa comment. You can also help us maybe think. Do you expect something new from President Ruto today? We have David Mutamu anasema watching. Also Harold Sandando anasema watching. You can tell us pia hapo kwa comment section. What do you expect? Do you expect something new from the president, or do you expect maybe just the same thing that President Ruto has been saying since he became president? And you can also tell us. We have Boaz Ruto anasema live from Chepkuny. So anytime from now, we're expecting President Ruto to arrive at the parliament buildings for the special address, special state of the nation address anytime from now. And yeah, maybe we have something, maybe he has something surprise for Kenyans. Yeah, it's
what
a matter
kind
of
of a surprise?
Waiting. So right now it's a matter of waiting and see. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, actually, because I don't think he's looking forward to coming to speak the State of the Nation address, knowing what is happening on the ground and how people feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
So from the communication from Parliament, President Ruto is set to address measures taken to achieve national security, national values, and also highlight achievement of his administration, such as the rollout and uptake of the new social health insurance fund, SHIF, that replaced the National Health Insurance Fund. I think that's the big elephant in the room. This SHIF thing matters health, because health is wealth.
Yeah.
You cannot go anywhere. You cannot do anything if your health is deteriorating, or if you're not able to move from one place to another. You'll not be able to do anything if your health is in question, is in jeopardy. So I think the issue to do with health is something that he needs to be honest. I just feel that at this moment in time, he should know that the Kenyans are actually all ears to see whether he's in touch with reality and whether he is willing to listen. You see, the problem is that people have agreed and they think that President Ruto is out of touch with what is happening on the ground. He is not really listening to the common mwananchi, and is only accruing to his vested interests. He's thinking about himself and himself alone, and he doesn't want to think about the common mwananchi and what the common mwananchi wants. And what the common mwananchi wants is just the facts about the economics, the numbers. If he's talking about the numbers that we have maize, we have food in our stores, and that the GDP, the economy of the Kenyan economy is actually gone up, then it needs to translate to the people on the ground.
Yeah.
People are still crying, hakuna pesa. There is no circulation of money on the ground. Watu wanalia hakuna pesa. So how can you talk about the economy increasing, and yet people are still struggling? Watu wako huku nje hawawezi lipa rent, school fees ndio hiyo ni shida, kwenda hospitali sahi ni shida. It's a huge problem. So I think what the Kenyans are really need right now is for Ruto to acknowledge actually there is a problem. He needs to acknowledge there are problems that he's still grappling with. Na aseme tu ukweli. Tell the Kenyans, umefikia wapi in matters SHIF-SHA? Yes, you have managed to transition from NHIF to SHIF. Umefikia wapi? Because people are dying outside here. They cannot access proper health care simply because of that issue. And so I think that he needs to work on that. I don't know the people that are advising him. I don't know the people that maybe he has people who are also out of touch. I don't know. But honestly speaking, and also for Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is also the deputy president, both of them have a lot of work to do.
But yesterday, was it yesterday, he said that he is believing God that everything will be good. And he believes that the country will prosper. The country, Kenya, will remain stronger. And so there is maybe a difference of him believing and a difference with him working to ensure that things actually go well the way maybe he's expecting them to go. Or what do you think? Nilo anasemanga prayers without action is dead. Ndio.
Faith without actions is dead.
Faith without
you cannot
action
have
is dead.
faith yet you're doing nothing. Faith has to be accompanied with actions. Kama anasema Kenya lazima ikuwe mzuri. If Kenya is supposed to pull up in matters economy and in matters to do with the constitution, the rule of law, then it has to start from him, because the buck stops with the president. When it comes to matters extrajudicial killings and femicide, the buck stops with the president. He's the one who is in charge of running the country. And so he needs to get his hands dirty. There are people who are not working. He's just decided to close his eyes and ears juzi tu, just a few days ago, he signed what do we call it? The performance contracts of the CSs. And so I think he needs to take that into account, how watu wasilale, because they are representing the executive. And if they sleep and they don't do anything, then we are going to slide under while we are watching.
Yeah, on the same, yesterday actually gave like a warning. It was a sort of warning to the CSS, and he told them that they have no option but to deliver to the people. And he said that there is no room for delay.
There's no room for failure.
Yeah, for delay or failure. You can just put that and then we proceed. You can also tell us if you're watching us what you think about
succeed. Two successive governments have attempted, they didn't quite succeed. We have decided that we are taking on this challenge because there are too many Kenyans that die out of illnesses that we can treat. There are too many Kenyans who end up in squalor and poverty because of hospital bills. We have decided that this time round, we must get it right and make it possible for every citizen, irrespective of their financial status, that they can get the highest level of treatment in Kenya. Difficult, yes. But rather than lament about a not so working NHIF, an NHIF that has bills dating 10 years, 15 years, we've decided to correct that situation. And I promise you, we will confound the naysayers. We will succeed. This country will not fail. This great nation that God has given us will succeed. The enemies of Kenya will be put to shame because we are going to succeed. And we are going to take this country forward. I am persuaded and I am very clear and I am focused on making sure that together with all of us working as leaders in the Republic of Kenya. And all of us understand the more authority you have, the greater the responsibility that rests on your shoulders. And the greater the responsibility you have on your shoulders, the higher the accountability that you are judged by. So all of us must work together towards making Kenya succeed. This country of ours, this home that God has given us, we must work tirelessly to make it succeed, to make it great, so that we can bequeath the next generation of Kenyans a better country, much more organized country, a country that shares prosperity, a united country. Successive presidents have attempted.
Yeah, so that was his statement saying that he believes that the nation will be good. So do you think it's good for President Ruto to say, I believe? I think that statement should come more from his followers than him himself. I think what he should do, he should he should actually say that I'm working to better these things, and I believe maybe God will give me the strength to fulfill each and every promise that I made to the Kenyans. Because right now things are not good kwa ground. Things are not good, and I think the way that you said is people are assuming that things are good, maybe if they themselves are able to put food on the table, for example, those people that are employed as state house and the government, if they can put food on the table, they can maybe uh, uh, take their children to school without any issue. They can be able to afford food, afford everything like they need. Maybe the assuming is the same reflects that thing automatically reflects to the people pale kwa mashinani, of which that is not true. Yeah, that's not true, and I think now it's high time for President Ruto to kusema ukweli. Kuna tofauti ya kusema ukweli, because and then the past we've seen that when he he goes to the ground, there's that incident when aliendanga pale, was it somewhere in Mkuru kwa Jenga, and he created that image that he was with the people at the ground, but when he went and started bought bananas from a particular mama mboga who was selling by the roadside, and the mama mboga alikuwa na mtoto wake. But you can see a movie from the way it looks like was screen, like that location was scripted, because that's the site for someone to go sell mandizi hapo kwa nini. It looked awkward. It looked like a scripted location and a scripted thing to maybe to show that President Ruto knows and actually cares what people are going through pale kwa ground.
Well, let's wait and see. We are only waiting to hear what the president has to say. And from the clip that you have just played, whereby President Ruto was actually talking to the CSs and the members of the cabinet and the other government officials who were present, well, he's trying to inspire as a leader. From what I know about leadership is that leaders focus on inspiring and influencing individuals to accomplish goals, and also they prioritize vision. Remember, they have the vision that is encapsulated in their bottom-up UDA bottom-up economic and transformation agenda. And so that vision, he is prioritizing and using innovation and building relationships to motivate and empower their team members. I think that is what a way he was trying to actually let the CSs know that as much as you are working for me and you are part of the government, be assured that there is no room for failure, and I am here to inspire you to do your very best to deliver on the services that the Kenyan people are waiting upon. It is not going to be an easy ride, because when it comes to matters shift, SHA, and transition from NHIF, I think that there is a lot that needs to go into it, and probably it should incorporate and ensure that the ICT department or the ICT CS works together with the CS of health to ensure that there is smooth transition, and if there are any loopholes or if there are any discrepancies as per that issue of transition, then it needs to be handled with immediate effect, because there are people all over the country who are complaining and are wondering whether they'll be able to access public health care as it was reiterated by the president. Well, as we are continuing to wait for the president to come on board, we are also eager to listen and see what he is going to say in matters to do with the issue of security for the common mwananchi, especially the ladies who have been killed and subjected to femicide. There are so many people who have lost their lives, and also the young people who are abducted during the demonstrations of the Gen Z led demonstrations against the finance bill earlier on this year. still the parents are out there asking and wondering where their kids are. And it has been alleged that some of the young people who were very forthright and fighting for the doing away with the tax bill, they were abducted by unknown assailants who looked to be very professional and were put behind on Subarus, and from then on they were never seen. And still the government maintains a stance that they had nothing to do with them, and President Ruto is calling on all the state agencies like the NIS, the DCI, to ensure that investigations are done. It still doesn't make any sense. I think there is something behind that is going on that we don't know about. Maybe there is a cover-up. I'm just alleging there could be a cover-up. Maybe President Ruto may not be aware, and probably the people close to him are making this to happen. And so many things needs to come out to light. The issue about Rigathi Gachagua being tailored or being followed, and surveillance being done, being inflicted upon him, the main reason why he spoke out is something to really ponder and think about and wonder whether this nation is actually safe. The Kizza Besigye scandal, whereby he was abducted here from the country and he was taken, and immediately when he reached to Uganda, he went to a court martial and he was to answer charges that he knew nothing about. It leaves a lot of questions to be answered. So matters security, matters to do with the rule of law, following up with the constitution, ensuring that there is no corruption. Those are key issues that are on people's minds. But we are waiting to see and to hear what actually President Ruto is going to address. Don?
Yeah, so there's that issue of Ruto telling the CSS that they have to deliver. So I'm asking myself, with the history of Ruto and micromanaging, as some people allege in the government, will the CSS be able to deliver on their own? For example, we have someone like Mbadi, who was very vocal when he was in opposition, but after joining the government, it's like there's no difference with the previous CS and him, and it's like he's doing totally opposite of what he was standing for before he joined the government. That thing goes with also with the CS Opiyo and I. It's like maybe when you are outside the circle, you have a clearer picture of what to do, of what can be done for things to be better. But when you are now inside the circle, you become the same as people you find there that circle. So I don't know. And this begs a question. For example, if Raila Odinga was to become president, would things be different? Like what's happening? Would things be different according to what his CSS so far performing? Because we have seen we have Oparanya, we have Wandai, we have Mbadi, and we have Joho. Right now, there's nothing unique they have come up with. There's no like tangible policies that they have come up with to make things change. So if, for example, things are not working, is it safe to say that maybe Ruto is micromanaging them, and Ruto is a micromanager, such that even if you have your own policy you want to implement as a CS, you don't have that room maybe to implement your ideas. You understand? Mm-hmm. So that questions a lot. And right now, like we have the Corino Church Executive Council holding a press conference, giving their statement on the ongoing issue to do with the churches and the government, and we'll be bringing you that shortly, that live stream shortly. And you can also tell us what you think about what to expect from President Ruto's State of Nation address as we await for his address. What do you think? Do you think that things will be different this time, or do you think it's just the same tune he has been having? What do you think? You can tell us up in the comment section on Facebook, Lightcast TV, on YouTube, Lightcast TV Kenya. You can also follow us on TikTok at Lightcast TV Kenya, and we'll be thankful. So there goes the press briefing.
Pertains to our nation, the issues that have been raised, and to seek a way forward as a church of the prophets and priests, and to indicate the way that the Lord wants our nation to move forward. So I will read the statement from the church, and later we shall be circulating these statements to you for reference. Dear Kenyans, grace and peace of our Lord and our Father Lord Jesus Christ be with you. We, the Apostolic Executive Council of the Akorino Churches of Kenya, are compelled to issue this apostolic statement in lieu of the ongoing national debate and the role of the church in the state. First, we wish to reiterate that in line with our historical role and divine calling as the Akorino Church, we stand in oneness and in unity with the entire body of Christ and the issues that has been raised by the church. We also wish to state that the Akorino Church family reiterates that the concerns raised by our brethren from the Catholic Church and other churches are varied, sincere in raising these concerns, is not an enemy of the state or the government. Neither do we purpose to act as the opposition arm of the government, but we do this as concerned citizens to correct a younger brother. The church must not be seen as if it's in fight with the government of the day or fighting the government's agenda, but we are following the principle espoused in the Holy Scriptures that an open rebuke is better than secret affection, and that better are the faithful words of a friend than the kisses of a deceitful enemy. Thus, the church must not be viewed as an enemy or as the opposition arm of the government, but as a faithful friend who corrects a friend when they miss a step. The Holy Scriptures in the book of Proverbs 12, verse 1 also teaches us that he who loves discipline loves counsel, but he who hates correction is ignorant. Thus, we wish to call upon the President to heed to the calls of the church and call for a multi-sectoral, consultative and engagement forum to address the concerns raised from various quarters and to seek a lasting solution to the myriad challenges that we face as a nation. We also wish to request the President to rein upon some of his henchmen who want to advance the church or certain bishops are against and fighting the government or the government agenda. Contrary to such, the church is raising such concerns to correct the government and to call upon the President and the government to retract their steps and seek a way forward. Additionally, we call upon all religious leaders in Kenya to lead in quelling the anger and the anxiety building up in the nation and to uphold our divine role of praying for our leaders and the government and for the peace of our nation. The church cannot and must not be seen to incite the masses or lead protests. Finally, we wish to remind Kenyans that this government was birthed as a result of prayer and fasting. We called upon God to give us leaders that befit us, we cannot call God to correction. These are the leaders we begot ourselves, and we must do everything to correct them when they go astray and to work with them. Finally, as prophets and priests of our land, we shall be calling, in line with the God's divine prophecy, for a national day of prayer, reflection, and reconciliation in a few days, where all political and religious leaders will be invited to attend for reflection. The Akorino Church remains committed to pray, work, and partner with the government as long as the government remains open to correction and consultation. Peace of the Lord be with you all. God bless you.
Amen.
Leo ni Gikuyu na Gikuyu tũgũthikĩria nĩtũgwĩkana Gĩthweri tuanze na Kiswahili. Papa Askofu kutoka mji wa Kariobangi, Papa Askofu Stanley, kwa muktadha sasa, kwa muktadha wa Kiswahili kitukuke. Kiswahili kitukuu. Go. If you are ready, attack.
Majina yangu naitwa Archbishop Stanley Kichoro, na mimi ni kiongozi kati ya kanisa ya Wakorino, dhehebu ya Wakorino, na nimekuja siku ya leo ndiposa tukaweze kupeana mwelekeo wa dhehebu hili letu la Wakorino. Tunajua ya kwamba mengi yameongelewa na mambo yenye ambaye yamenenwa na wengine, labda tunaweza kuingizwa kwa grupu ambaye hatuko ndani yake. Sasa tumeleta mwelekeo wetu kulingana na vile Mwenyezi Mungu ametusaidia, na tuseme ya kwamba sisi ni wananchi, sisi ni citizen wa hii nchi yetu. Hii nchi yetu ya Kenya, nchi ambaye ilimwagwa damu, na ilimwagwa damu na mababu zetu na mababa zetu, tukijua ya kwamba kuna gharama ambaye walienda diposa tukapate uhuru ule ambaye tunatawala siku ya leo. Tunataka kuambia serikali ya hivi sasa, sisi hatuna vita na serikali. Sisi hatuna vita na wale viongozi ambaye wamekalia viti. Lakini tunataka kuwaambia ya kwamba kulingana na vile mambo inaendelea, kanisa haiwezi wekwa kando ati ndio serikali ijiongoze. Naye kanisa haiwezi kuendelea bila serikali. Tunaungana ndiposa mambo yote iende sababa. Tunaomba rais wetu ajue ya kwamba hii serikali aliipata kwa ajili ya maombi yenye ambayo iliombwa na watu wa kanisa. Kwa hivyo asisahau hiyo. Na sisi hatuna vita ya kwamba ati tunapigana ndiposa tupige serikali yake, ama tuwe tunataka kuondoa watu wenye ambayo wako serikalini. Ala hasha. Lakini wakati tuna statement inatolewa na kanisa, kuna watu ambayo wanakuja baadaye, na ni wale tu kwa serikali wanataka kukosoa kanisa, ati kanisa haiendi na ule mpango ama taratibu zile zinafaa. Hapana, serikali ni lazima ikosolewe na kanisa, naye kanisa ni lazima ifuate sheria za serikali. Kwa hivyo tungetaka kuita kongomano ile ambayo tunaweza kaa chini serikali na kanisa, kwa ajili hiyo ndio suluhisho ile ambayo inaweza tibu serikali yetu. Lakini tukiongea huko nje hatusaidii. Tutakuwa tumesaidia wakati tumekaa chini na serikali, kanisa ikae chini, ndiposa tujue ile kitu ambayo itatibu serikali yetu. Na tukifanya hivyo hakuna shida ambayo itaendelea. Kwa hivyo wale wambunge, wale watu wa senate ambao wanaendelea wakisambaza mambo mbaya ya kanisa, kanisa sio mbaya, lakini kanisa ni lazima iwe na sauti kulingana na vile mambo inaendelea katika serikali yetu. Na kwa ajili hata sisi ni serikali, tuko ndani ya serikali. Serikali tusikize, iposa tuwe na kikao. Mimi nitakomea hapo nikijua ya kwamba rais wetu atatusikia na ataita mkutano, iposa tuwe na kikao. Asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki.
Leo president ako na kikao na bunge. Pengine unaona kulingana na ile matamshi ambayo inaendelea hapa nchini, Wakenya watamsikiliza ile ambayo atakuwa kikao.
Sasa hiyo italingana na yale ambayo ataongea, lakini sisi kama Wakenya tunajua tulimchagua rais na yeye ndiye amekalia kiti. Kwa hivyo rais akikubali kusikiza kanisa, hakuna shida itakayekuwa pale. Kwa hivyo atakapoita kikao, hiyo ndio itasuluhisha mambo yote ile ambayo iko kwa serikali.
Pengine baadhi ya mambo ambayo mngependa aangazie.
Mambo yenye ambayo tungetaka aangazie sana sana, kuna mambo ya hizi mahospitali, kuna mambo ambayo inaleta makelele katika serikali. Sasa kuna mambo ambayo imefinya wananchi, hiyo ndio sasa tungetaka aangaze zaidi, ndiposa wananchi waone kweli wako na mtu ambaye anawashughulikia.
Je, kwa utendeti unaweza ukasema mnaunga mkono yale masuala ambayo yametolewa na baadhi ya maaskofu wa makanisa mengine kwa pamoja?
Tunaunga mkono kwa ajili hawajakosea. Ile kitu wanajaribu kufanya ni kurekebisha serikali, lakini ile njia ambaye watu wanaipata, ile njia ambaye watu wanapata hiyo ripoti, naye sio ile njia ambayo inafaa. Kwa hivyo tunaunga mkono ya kwamba kanisa inafaa kuongelesha serikali.
Kwa hiyo pana haja ya serikali kuwaita maaskofu na makanisa yote pamoja kuzungumzia.
Hiyo ni kweli kabisa. Tunafaa tuitwe iposa tujaribu kutibu serikali yetu sisi pamoja na serikali.
Wakati wa kampeni mliitwa na mkakaa pamoja na mkakuwa na mikataba kadhaa ambayo mliandikiana. Imetimizwa?
Haijatimizwa. Iposa sasa tunasema tuitwe iposa tukumbushe rais wetu yale ambayo tuliahidiana na yeye, bado haijatimizwa.
Thank you. Leo turenda kuingira gikoyo-ini kiri mathai. Asante. Tugwitikiria the prophet of the nation mwenye nataka kutara. Gitu. Aya. Konga. Aya, ukiwa ready.
That was a press briefing by the Akorino executive leadership, highlighting that they are not in quarrel with the government, but they wish to state that when the government is on the wrong, that he needs to be told the truth, and that they need to, get back into the good books of the people who voted them on the ground. So that has been our commentary. I am Ninjal Awor Kolek.
Yeah, stay tuned for the President Ruto's State of Nation address. Will be coming anytime from now. Yeah, just stay tuned to our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel for the live stream, and also you can stay tuned on our TikTok channel for the short videos. Thank you very much for tuning in.